And if you think you're going to live like a Cinderella and Prince Charming, come back to reality. There will always be conflict. That is the human nature. There's never been once a relationship there hasn't been. When you go in your deepest, darkest moments, there is a guiding principle and an agreement, a promise that keeps you intact. Kyunki aaj di duniya, oh, I'm not feeling it anymore. Chalo chak baar chatto. That's the world's dunya today. But Pairee, there's no true love in that. Love is when you give and receive nothing, then you still give. Apne aap nu sab kuch de do. Don't think you strive for perfection and then you'll become a Sikh. Once you become a Sikh, then the Guru will make you perfect. You don't do Nitnem and Simran once you're jadon thoda man tek gaya. You do Simran and Nitnem to make your man focus. In the same way, you don't take Amrit when you're ready. The Amrit makes you ready. And in this relationship with this Guru, there will be ups and downs. You might mess up sometimes. You might not get it in this whole thing that, oh, je koi galti hogi, come back to the Guru. The Guru will protect you. And there will be ups and downs. But there is one thing, the Guru will say, you've made me yours. And I've made you mine. And because we are in this together, now if you are in your downs, I will grab you and pull you back up. Pairee, if the Guru says I'm willing to support you, who else support? Whose other support do you need? Whether I'm good or bad, I'm yours, Maharaj. Farida kale mende kapde, kala menda ves, gun hi parya main firan, lok kahen darves, tum dariyao dana bina, मैं मछली कैसे अंत लहा, जह जह देखा तह तह तू है, तुझ ते निकसी फूट मरा, मूक उचरै शास्त्र खट, पिंग गिरन चढ़ जाए, अंध लखै बदरो सुनै, जो काल कृपा कराए, कहाँ बुद्ध प्रभ तुच्छ हमारी, बरन सकै महिमा जो तिहारी, हम न सकत कर सिफत तुम्हारी, आप ले हो तुम कथा सुधारी, सतनाम श्री वाहेगुरु साहिब जी, सतगुर पुरख जे बोलिया, गुर सिखा मन लई रजाए जियो, मोहरी पुत सनमुख होया, रामदासै पैरी पाए जियो, सब पवै पैरी सतगुरु केरी, जिथै गुरु आप रखिया, कोई कर बखीली निवै नाही, फिर सतगुरु आण निवाया, हर गुरह पाणा दी वडियाई, तुर लिखिया लेख रजाए जियो, कह सुंदर सुनो संतो, सब जग पैरी पाए जियो, हर गुरह पाणा दी वडियाई, तुर लिखिया लेख रजाए जियो, कह सुंदर सुनो संतो, सब जग पैरी पाए जियो। राजान राज पानान पान, देवान देव उपमा महान, चवर छतर तख्तां दे मालक, अकाल पुरख दे सरगुण ਸਰੂਪ, ਜੋਤੀ ਅਨੂਪ, ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਰੂਪ, ਧੰਨ 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 ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਨਿੱਘੀ ਗੋਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜ ਬੈਠੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਅਪਾਰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਭਾਗਾਂ ਘੜੀਆਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਹਨ। I made this ਬੇਨਤੀ, where we are blessed to be able to sit in Guru Sahib Sache Paatshah Ji's Sangat and continue listening to these blessed praises, these blessed moments and auspicious times, which we don't know how many cycles we went through to be able to sit in Guru Sahib Sache Paatshah Ji's Darbar today. Taking those moments, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕਈ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਦਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਕਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਰਾਮਕਲੀ ਸੱਧ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨੀ, to be able to continue the katha of Ramkali Sadh. Today, ਉਹ ਅਖੀਰਲਾ ਚਰਨ, ਅਖੀਰਲਾ ਪਦ ਦੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. We'll try to continue and speak about the final part of Ramkali Sadh, and we'll complete the katha of the Bani today. In this tour of the UK this year, Maharaj has done beyond kirpa. But ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਸੱਚੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, before I begin, I do want to say something, that ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਬਲ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, where we take energy from ourselves, try to do uddam and place it in front of Guru Sahib Ji, we don't really realize that our efforts itself are also in control and within the dori of Akal Purkh Sache Paatshah. When we plan that, hey, we want to do binti, we want to do katha, we Gurmukhs get together, decide how and what topics we should do. But only when you go through some of these things do you realize that Sache Paatshah, you yourself make us speak in the way you want us to speak. Ramkali Sadh di Bani is that Bani that is read at the time of somebody's passing. It is upon the call that came to Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj Sache Paatshah in those last few moments of their life. And Baba Sundar Ji, their great grandson, they are reciting and repeating those bachans to Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, explaining exactly what happened in history, the Brahm Vidya that took place at the time, the maryadas that we follow. In this seva or in this tour, there has been many cities and families visited. But koi Maharaj di kamal di koi khed hai, that wherever those vicharas took place and those sangatan were able to connect to the Guru's Darbar, they're always ended, and I would only find out about this afterwards, that there was a death in the family. There was a link to a cousin of somebody who passed away, or somebody's family friend that has passed away. Now that is something that we cannot know. Kalle aave nanaka. That when that call comes towards us, we know it's written upon our head because we came into the world with that call upon us. It is inevitable. But ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਰਮਜੀ ਖੇਡ ਮਾਰਨ ਨੇ ਦਾਸ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕੀਤੀ, and I just thought I'd wanted to share that the seva that you expect to do or the plan that you could do, I'll be honest, ਵਿਚਾਰ that the Gurmukhan ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੁਕਮ ਕੀਤਾ, they said either do katha of the ਵਣਜਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ or do ਵਿਚਾਰ of Ramkali Sadh. ਉਥੋਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ, and the vichar was something along the lines of Ramkali Sadh. Sadh di Bani ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਕਾਰਾ ਛੱਡੇ ਕਿ in this next week, this is the katha that we'll do. But that vichar that takes place, sachi, the kirtan that takes place, the hukamname that they come, you do not realize until afterwards that Guru Sahib is exactly speaking to you. So ਇਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੋਰਨੀ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ. ਇਸ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਆਰੰਭ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਲੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਆ. Before I continue this prelogue, ਆਪਾਂ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਕਮਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ ਹੋਏ ਭੰਡਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਣੀ. ਗੱਜ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਓ ਜੀ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, to come into Sangat, there is an analogy that is shared throughout Itihas. There is a tree called a bine tree. This bine tree has a very thick trunk. This pine tree has a lot of branches. बहुत संघना दरख्त हुंदा है. This pine tree has many, many leaves on it. The elders used to sit and congregate underneath this type of tree. This type of tree would have many, many fruits on it. The Mahampurkh आखदे हुंदे सन that to come into a human life to begin with, it would take as many branches as there are on that pine tree. That's how much karma that you need, great karma you need to get a human life. And we don't realize this human life that we received itself. How many janams, how many cycles did we have to go through to receive this heere jaisa janam hai? This jewel of a life itself. Then the next question arises, how much karma do I need? How much great karma do I need to be able to be born in a Gursikh family, to be able to find Sikhi in this lifetime? And they say the amount of leaves that are on top of that tree. Kyunki pyareo, in the hundreds and thousands are the branches. In the millions are the leaves. That's how much good karma you need to be able to find Sikhi in this life. Then how much karma do I need to be able to sit in the Guru's Sangat and have Gurbani playing in your ears, pyareo? The amount of seeds there are on those trees, within those fruits, and as they spread and pollinate and create forests. That's how much good karma you need to be able to sit in Guru's Darbar, listen with your ears, and have Katha and Kirtan playing within your mind. So je koi sawal puchda, this is a common question that gets asked. How do I know if the Guru has their hand on top of my head? Will the Guru support me? Does the Guru love me? Does the Guru even notice me? You can ask yourself this. If you look around and you see the Guru Sangat, the Maharaj is giving you the darshan. If you have Gurbani and Kirtan playing in your ears, the Maharaj Sache Pacha is speaking to you. And if you are sitting in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj's Darbar, consider Kalgitar Pacha has their hand on top of your head. Ape Sangat Sadbahal hai, Ape Vada Karave. Maharaj brings you in and separates you themselves. They are the cause of the separation and the unions in this world. In this Bani, in the previous days we discussed Jagadata soy pagat vachalat loe jiyo. And to tie it all together in the end, we have to understand that first line. Ode vich sab kuch hi hai. To be able to explain all of the ityas and everything that comes afterwards. That the master of the creator of this universe, who creates the separation and the unity, not only within the families, not only between the people that you know in this world, but also separation from the creator themselves and union within that creator. Just like this, a world that we see is many forms. It comes in many forms, but then it merges back into that creator as well. And then it manifests in many forms again. In that same way, through this play of this world, those that immerse themselves and drench themselves in a lifetime of bhakti, the pyareo bhagati de artha pakite se, bhagat de arth kite san. The bhagat ohi apne aap nu akhwa sakda jine zindagi par ek koi swas na birtha jaan ditta te parmeshwar de rang de vich bhej ke ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਭਗਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਤੀਤ ਕੀਤੀ. That person that spent their entire life, not even a single breath is wasted, drenched in the love, the color of love, and their entire life is spent. That person we call a bhagat. A bhagat is not just a name that we add to our name ourselves, but to live in that life uncontrollably drenched. And Maharaj is the bhagat vachal. They're the protector of those that are drenched in that love. So pyareo, jithe us bhagatan de, from the very beginning and all the way continues through the times and forever will, Maharaj protects their honor. In this Bani we spoke about what bhakti is, who classify as a bhagat, how those bhagats create that state of mind, that avastha, where drenched in that God's name and love, they rise above the pain and pleasure of this world. They rise above the dukh and the sukh. Apa rasa di gal kiti, pane di gal kiti. In this world, when what we call something that's negative to happen, those saints, they see it as God's will, and God's will is pleasing to their heart. Not something that just happens and says, I have to bear with it now. No, it is something that they absorb, they accept, they invite. Because whatever Guru Sahib in this world does, it is pleasing. And in this first pankti here, Guru Sahib Sache Pacha is saying exactly that. Satgur Purakh Ji Bolia, Gur Sikha man lai rajaye jiyo. Whatever the Guru has said, the Gur Sikhs have accepted that. They take it, they submit to it. That in this context it's being spoken that Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Pacha, they have said to the entire Sangat now that you need to fall at the feet of Guru Raam Das Ji. I am about to leave this physical body. The torch has been passed on, illuminating in Guru Amar Das Ji, in Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj is the light of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, which we call Jot Roop Har Aap Guru Nanak Kahai. The illuminating Guru Nanak Dev Ji is in Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj's physical body now. And the Gurmukhs, the Gur Sikhs, they accept that in that moment. That not just, yes, the person that we love, our great elder, our Guru, is physically leaving, but accepting the next Guru as well. The ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਇਸ ਪਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਆ, ਪਰ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਤਿਮ ਸੰਸਕਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਮਰਿਆਦਾਵਾਂ ਟੂਕ ਮਾਤਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਸੀ. We spoke about how what the world does. They cry out ਕਦੇ ਵੈਣ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ. Some people ਸਿਆਪਾ ਹੀ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ. Some people ਧੌਸਾ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ. This is when somebody passes away and the women gather together and they purposely even hire other women from other villages to come together and cry out. They pull their hair. They smack their hands on the ground. They rip their clothes and their tunniya. They cry out and they show. Why? Because if they didn't cry enough, maybe the ghost might come back and haunt them. That do we not care about the person that passed away? Some of these philosophies may exist. Some tawsamar deya. What do? They go to the place where the person passed away and the men scream out loud to try to scare away the ghost. These things Maharaj Sache Pacha condemn. They condemn the practice of sati, where if the man passes away, the woman has to go and sit on the funeral pyre. Where people are bowing down to the sati before she goes and sits on the funeral pyre. Where people are bowing down to the dead body, not only just out of respect to say, please don't haunt us afterwards. These sort of philosophies pyare exist. Marne ki us antam sanskar de vich vadhans ki var da kirtan kiਵੇਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ. As you travel to the funeral home. Otte, what happens at the funeral home? What ardasan to do? Which Bani are to be read? And then once the funeral cremation has taken place, Sola Sahib is read. When everybody in the Sangat come back to the Guru's house, Darbar de vich otte ki padya janda. How is kirtan done? How is katha done afterwards of Jat Sri ki var and Slok Saskriti? Throughout within 10 days. Somebody continues on for 40 days. Somebody continues on for 15 days, 13 days for different reasons. But Gurmukh di maryada vich Maharaj creates this code of conduct physically for us. And I want to highlight this one aspect. There are specific moments in our life when we definitely have to look towards Guru Sahib and Guru Sahib's Sikhya for guidance on what would we do in this situation, because this is beyond us. Some of those things are such as Janam Sanskar, and one of those things is Antam Sanskar. When a child is born, we are overwhelmed with happiness. We do not know, Maharaj, how do we do shakrana? How do we be grateful for this blessing you've given to our house? Sometimes we are in pain throughout life, and Maharaj, we need your guidance to get out of our pain so we can maneuver in life happily. And most above all, the things that we do not see, which is beyond this physical body. And majority of all, most of all, that is where we get confused that, hey, in this world, we can only see up to this, and beyond this, our minds go blank. So we think death equals where we cease to exist. That just because we don't know what's anything beyond this, that it must not be anything, and many doubts come. वैसे जे ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਝਲਕ ਮਾਰੀ, ਮੈਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਇਸ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਹਰ ਕੈ ਦਰ ਵਰਤਿਆ ਸੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਖ ਸੁਣਾਇਆ. That what actually happens in Dargah, Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj explains. So what did happen to Tapa? Tapa that did slander their entire life. This world that we see and what is beyond it, and what are the systems that Maharaj has created beyond this. In the Antam Sanskar and the Maryada, we look towards that. But khair, us Maryadavan di apan benti swere kar hate sa. The point going towards the Sanmukh aspect. In this life, we look towards guidance. There is a shabad that we learn, and it's derived from a word in Persian, which is mirza. Mirza, and a common word that we use stretched towards it, is maryada today. Mirza literally means river bank. When a river is flowing from the streams, nadiyan to, wa to, from the streams and the rivers and all the little waterfalls and the creeks, eventually that water collects in the rivers, the larger darya, and then eventually goes and merges with the ocean. But that water will only reach the ocean if it stays within the river bank. And Pairee, that's what maryada is. Akho Satnam Sri Vaheguru. Maryada is that guiding figure. Guru Sahib is saying, stay within line. Your mind wants to jump out, cries in pain. Your water hits the rock, it cries in pain, jumps out, and it wants to land outside of the river. It hits a rock, it cries out in pain, lands in soil. Bhai Veer Singh Ji bahut sundar gal likhde hai. Bhai Veer Singh Ji says, because ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਵਿਦਵਾਨ ਨੇ ਬੜੇ ਰਮਜੀ, ਉਹ ਆਪ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ. They used to write doing abhyas. So they would sit at the edge of the river and they would sit there and do simran, and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ they saw water droplets hitting the rock. It would hit the rock, and ਪਾਣੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਟਕਰਾਵੇ ਨਾ, the water doesn't make any noise. But water makes noise where there's a rocky patch within the river, where it's hitting the riverbanks, where there's a waterfall, it makes a lot of noise. And this drops of water, they were hitting rocks. And the water would hit the rock and would fly into the sky, separate from the Sangat of the river. And then it would land on top of the rock. And ਜਿੱਥੇ ਧੁੱਪ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੁੱਖਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸੜ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ. We're taught the drop of water is you. Then it would hit the drop of water and it would land in the soil, separate from the Sangat, and it apne sukhan vich sama gaya. It get absorbed in its own pleasures of the world and separated itself from the Sangat. Is this you? It's a question to ask yourself. Are you being separate from the path and the Sangat, going outside of maryada because of your own dukh or because of your own sukh, your pains and pleasures? If that drop of water is to stay within the river banks, meaning the Guru's hukum, the command, the guidance that Guru Sahib Sache Pacha has laid out, just like a child goes and puts his hand down a lion's mouth, puts his hand in an alligator's mouth. The child goes and tries to grab the snake in the field. The mother comes running, माँ पिछों भाग के कह रही है कि पुत्र सप नूं थल्ले रख दे, डंग मार दूगा. Don't go near the lion's den. Don't put your hand in the mouth of the sleeping lion or your hand in the mouth of the alligator. And the child that thinks it's all that smart, I say, "Le, माँ मैं तेरे सन्मुख का तो हूँ माँ. Do you know better than me? तेनू ज़्यादा पता है?" And this is Ramayya hum barak tera. We make many mistakes. Kayana khandas avgun mera. We make many mistakes, but the mother knows better. And Guru Sahib Sache Pacha says there are many vices out to attack you in this world. Panch bekhadi ek gariba rakho rakhan hare. Khed kare har bahut sandave. Ayo sharan tohari. Rakh pita prabh mere mohi nirgun sab gun tere. This is what we read in Bani. Many acts that we try to do, we will not find that shanti. We must become sanmukh to it. Path padeo ar ved bicharyo. Nival payangam sadhe. These are tasks that we try to do on our own. Path padeo ar ved bicharyo. Nival payangam sadhe. Through logics and knowledge and teachings and various different debates, we try to sit down. We try to go to the extents of the evidences and observations of the universe. But what about those things that we can't observe within our own heart? Then we try to go through the yoga acts and try to cleanse ourselves and say we have a pure heart. Nival Pingangam is taking a string, putting in through your nose and putting out your mouth and cleaning your certain nadiya, cleaning certain nerves. trying various acts to align things within our body. Nival pe angam sadhe. Then we try to take the many donations and build great castles and take over the world in many different ways. Throughout this entire Shabad, Maharaj speaks about it. Panch janasyon sangna chutkeyo. Adik aham bodh badde. But throughout all of this, you've not been able to escape the vices and those that are attacking. Pyareo, sari zindagi ek moh te bibek di jang hai. It's a battle between moh and bibek. Your mind is struggling to break away from this attachment and being stuck in this world. And this world itself is trying to entice you into it. Because vin danta jag khaya, that's what the world, without teeth, it entices you and eats you. Par pyareo, is khed de vich, just by doing it on your own, doing your own task, you will soon realize, hey, I'm still in the square one. Panch janaso sangana chutkeyo. So Maharaj, I fall at your feet. Pyare, eh bid milan na jai. मैं किए कर्म अनेका हार परे स्वामी के द्वारे दीजे बुद्ध बबेका. So eventually, Maharaj, I give up and I fall at your feet. But there's a beauty with this. Without you trying, you will not realize that by your own efforts and actions, it was worthless. So even that journey itself was a blessing. Jinnachar, you become Sanmukh in front of Guru Sahib Sache Pacha. And that's exactly Satgur Purakh Ji Bolia, Gur Sikha man lai rajaye jiyo. Whatever Guru Sahib Sache Pacha has said now, that it's time for me to leave this world. It's time for me to go, or for you in this lifetime, this is your maryada, fall at the feet of Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj. It is Sat Bachan. Jo Gur Kahai, soi pal mano. Har har katha nirali. It is true, the words of Guru Sahib Sache Pacha are so unique, whatever the Guru says, you accept. And that state of acceptance, वैसे आप रजा पाना मनना, accepting death, or even a guru's call upon us, even though it might feel like death. Pyareo, in this world, in this life, there is something, the reason why we can't submit ourselves fully to the Guru. And I want you to look deep within your heart for this reason. You will know what this reason is for you. What is holding you back from giving your head? Sanmukh literally means, Pyareo, is facing the Guru. Vemukh hunda hai jehda Guru to pare hunda. जे को गुरु सेती सन्मुख होवे ता सन्मुख सिख कोई जियो रहे गुर नाले गुर के चरण हृदय ते आए अंतर आत्मा समाले. We read in Anand Sahib di Bani that the person that takes Guru Sahib Sache Pacha's charan and instills them in their heart, this is an act of pure love, pure submission. But the question is, sometimes because of our own physical beauty, and I'm saying literally, कई बारी ਆਪਾਂ गुरु साहिब सच्चे पातशाह ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੱਥਾ, and start from the physical and we'll go to the non-physical and we'll talk about the depths of your mind. Start with here. What is stopping you from physically bowing down to the full extent to Maharaj? Why can we not laying down in front of Maharaj and cry for days? Sometimes our own physical beauty hinders our mind from matha taking to Maharaj. So, मैं बेनती करदा, when we walk into Maharaj's darbar, don't think about what people are thinking about your suits. And we're focusing on our own physical beauty. Or my dastar looks good. And as I do parkarma, they're going to look at my nice ironed out kurta. Is it your own physical beauties that are stopping you to really become Sanmukh to the Guru? Let's start with that. And you will know where you fall within this. When you sit in the darbar, are people saying, oh, that person has a nice voice? Is that hindering you from, rather than singing the Guru's praises, you're singing your own praises? When you bow down to Guru Sahib Ji, you're just bowing down to yourself. When you look in the mirror, instead of losing your ego and saying, मैं Guru Gobind Singh Ji Sache Pacha, Bhai Daya Singh Ji da damala sajaya, Kalgitar Pacha Ji da bana paya, are you just saying, I'm the one that looks great? Be conscious of this. What form are you taking on? And in this act itself, not just physically, but even in the depths of your mind, what is that one doubt that is not allowing you to fall at the feet of Sache Pacha? Kisi Singh ne na ek sawal puchhiya siga. They asked this question. And they said, you know what? Why do we have to commit to Guru Sahib? Why do we have to follow maryada? Why do we have to tie ourselves? Why do we have to take Amrit in this way? And मैं सीधा सवाल पूछा, क्योंकि साधु ने सानू ये सवाल पूछे, मैं क्या तू व्याह करना है? You're getting married next year? You're getting married in a couple of years? Acha, why don't you just keep her as a girlfriend? Commitment kadon karni hai? Is it not a question? Oh, no, because I need to make sure that we stay together as Guru's maryada there. We're living in the same house, so society is holding it. You'll have a million different reasons for it. And maybe, Pairee, sometimes you might be thinking in the world, hey, don't take this as, hey, that's a good idea. We might not even need to get married. That's not what I mean here. Without the Guru's hand on top of your head, we cannot succeed anywhere. We cannot take a single step. So, Pairee, we cannot treat Guru Sahib like our girlfriend. Guru Sahib Sache Pacha, when we give her head, in this world, don't take it out of context. Sometimes the example can feel a bit odd. When we in this world, dunya de vich ek example mildi hai कि जदों गुरु साहिब सच्चे पातशाह कोल कोई सिख गुरु को साहिब सच्चे पातशाह कोल कोई सिख जावे and gives their head, fully does dandaut, dives into the deep end, and it's because there is no doubt left, or even there's a doubt, you take the benefit of the doubt. But in this world, if you ask a man or a woman why are they not getting ready to marry, they'll say, I still have some doubts. There is a reason. Or there's a doubt that she might take half my money and my wealth and have to divorce me and take my house and I'll have to run away from me. These are serious doubts that people have. But ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ Guru ਕੋਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਤਰਕ ਆ? What is the doubt that is sitting in you? Do you believe Guru is not all powerful? Find out why. Deep within your heart, what is that? Why are you not doing your nitnem? Why are you not living within that maryada? Do you not feel it's important or relevant? And if you've not been taught properly, then go find the right tasks to be able to figure that out. Satgur Purakh Ji Bolia, Gur Sikha Man Lai Rajaye Jiyo Pyare, main Guru de bachan di atalta di bachan karne a. I'm going to speak about the Guru's words is atal and it is inevitable. Sometimes our mind is trying to doubt it. And I want you to look deep within yourself behind this. Duni Chand was a great warrior and a great general for Kalgitar Pacha. They asked the example. Duni Chand was a great warrior. He was a great soldier. His chest was wide. He was tall, above 6 feet. When he would fight in battle, he would swing his sword and all of the enemies would run away. Pyareo, Lohgarh de Kile de vich, Holgarh de Kiliyan de vich, eho je jor dikhai Duni Chand varge ne. He was like an elephant. He was an elephant of a size. He could push over horses. And with the experience that he had, there's a saying that if a soldier lives to be old, that means he's experienced. A young soldier that passes away early, that means somebody has gone through many, many battles to gain that experience. You don't want to mess around with somebody that's a senior soldier, that has survived many battles. And Duni Chand with his long white beard was one of those senior generals of the Darbar of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj at Anandpur Sahib. Pyareo, ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ ਪਹਾੜੀ ਰਾਜਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਰਾਬੀ ਹਾਥੀ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਿਸਤਾਰ ਨਾ ਕਰੀਏ they sent an elephant with tusks with a long 7-foot staff tied to the front, a long 7-foot what looks like a khanda tied to the front of the elephant, and from both sides they're forcing it with spears. ਪਹਾੜੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਾੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਖੁਦ ਉਹ ਹਾਥੀ ਦੇ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਮਿੱਧਦੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ. Sometimes the staff is cutting some of the pahadiyas off and they're gathering together because they need to take this elephant towards the Kile. When in the Darbar, Kalgitar Pacha found out that there is an elephant being brought, Kalgitar Pacha ji de bachan si. ਉਹ ਹਾਥੀ ਭੇਜ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਦਾ ਹਾਥੀ ਭੇਜਾਂਗੇ. We will send our own elephant. And somebody asked ਕਿ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਹਾਥੀ ਕੌਣ ਆ? ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਅਟਲ ਨੇ. They said, who is our elephant? And Sache Pacha said, who else but Duni Chand? Duni Chand is our elephant. Pyareo, Duni Chand found out that Kalgitar Pacha ji ne bachan kar dite the, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ. That he's been called to the darbar in the morning, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ. Duni Chand, ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੌਤ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਝੱਲੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੀ. When death is in front of us, sometimes we cannot bear it. Guru da bachan atal liya. Guru's word is atal. To accept it, whether we see it or whether we don't. Duni Chand ਸਾਰੀ ਰਾਤ ਕਦੇ ਇਧਰੋਂ ਗੇੜੇ ਕੱਢਦਾ ਕਦੇ ਉਧਰੋਂ ਗੇੜੇ ਕੱਢਦਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਸੁੱਕ ਗਿਆ lips are done he's trying to figure out ways on how he can get out of this situation he doesn't want to see an elephant that's the size of a mountain so ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ he goes to the room of ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਕਰੀਬ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ he goes to ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ and says ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ we're gonna fight in this battle I don't think this is a good strategy. I think ਆਪਾਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਰਵਾਉਣੇ ਆ let's go and find a different let's let them win this killa let's retreat and ਆਪਾਂ we'll try to find a different way to attack ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ looks to ਦੁਨੀ ਚੰਦ ਕੇ ਦੁਨੀ ਚੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ are you not accepting of the guru's bachan do you not know the guru's bachan is a tal Duni Chand then steps back. Chalo, long story short, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਈ. Then he goes to Bhai Dharm Singh Ji. Then goes to Bhai Himmat Singh Ji. Then Bhai Mohkam Singh Ji. Every single one of them. Duni Chanda, tu Guru de ਘਰ ਤੋਂ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਫਿੱਟ ਗਿਆ. You've been eating from the Guru's house again and over. And you've made a huge stomach for yourself. And now when the Guru calls upon you, not ready to give your head? ਜੇ ਕੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸੇਤੀ ਸਨਮੁਖ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਨਮੁਖ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਉ ਰਹਿ ਗੁਰ ਨਾਲੇ their ji, their under the atma is one with the Guru. The Guru's charan is inside of their heart because their homa is already lost. Duni Chand after going to the Panj Pairee, then they go towards the Panj Mukti. He goes to Bhai Ram Singh, Bhai Ishir Singh, Bhai Tehel Singh, Bhai Seva Singh, Bhai Sahib Singh, goes to all of them, Bhai Fateh Singh. Then he goes to Baba Ram Koer Ji. Baba Ram Koer Ji, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਫਟਕਾਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ. When Duni Chand realized that he's not getting his way anywhere here, ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ? He tied long ropes together. He put them over and he said, I'm going to run away to my family in Amritsar. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋਣਾ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋ ਜਾਈਏ ਬਨ ਸਤਗੁਰ ਮੁਕਤ ਨਾ ਪਾਵੇ without the true Guru there is no mukti. Do we want to stay within these river banks? What is stopping us? What is that fear? You look deep within your heart. Is it physical? Is it non-physical? Is it what the world thinks? It is what your family thinks or the family friends. Is it what your wife might think or your children might think? ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਪੱਕੀ ਆ ਜੀਵਤ ਕੋ ਵਿਵਹਾਰ ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਭਾਈ ਸੁਤ ਬੰਦਪ ਅਰਫੁਨ ਗ੍ਰਹਿ ਕੀ ਨਾਰ ਜੇ ਇਸ ਪੰਛੀ ਕੱਲਾ ਆਇਆ in this world if this swan came into this world alone it will leave alone even your own wives your children ਸਵੇਰੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ that when the same family ਵੈਣ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਆ say these fake words and they say that we love this person he was the greatest person we can't live without him ਉੱਚੀ ਹਕਾਰਾ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਇਸਤਰੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਭਰਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ but ਪਿਆਰਿਓ the deeper meaning behind that they've never said it in front of that person while they were alive ਜਿੰਦੇ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਕਦੇ ਉਸਤਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ why ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਭੂਤ ਨਾ ਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਉਹਦਾ the ghost may not come to us but what is holding us back from becoming Sanmukh or are we becoming Bemukh in what ways ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂ ਦੁਨੀ ਚੰਦ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਰਾਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸਵਾਲ ਉਠਾਇਆ ਕਿ is the Guru's charan deep within my heart is my soul connected with Guru Sahib Ji or is there a doubt that I'm holding on that is keeping this state of separation Duni Chand tied the ropes over and as he was climbing down ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਫਿੱਟ ਵੇ ਹਾ ਜੀਵੇ ਅਜਨ ਖਾਏ ਵਧਾਇਆ ਪੇਟ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਅਟਲ ਨੇ eating too much and you can take this in a humorous way as well ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਸੱਚੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਵੱਧ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ and that rope broke and he fell down the killa wall the wall of the fortress the rope broke fell down and he broke his leg and ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋ ਜੇ ਤੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਪਵੇ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਹੀਏ there's no sangat left for you ਕਿਹਨੇ ਸੁਣਨਾ you've already turned your face away from the Guru now he's saying I have to bite my tongue ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਚੀਕ ਮਾਰ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਲੈਣਗੇ ਤੂੰ ਭੱਜਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੇਮੁਖ ਹੋਈਏ ਨਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਸਮਟਾਈਮਸ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਕੇਸ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਪੱਟਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਭੈਣੋ ਆਪਾਂ let's not do this sometimes ਚੋਰੀ we take a little bit of drugs, we take a little bit of alcohol, we do various we skip nitnem, we skip Bani and ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰਨਾ you have to bite your tongue and do these ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਪੜਦਾ ਨਾ ਫਾਸ਼ ਹੋਵੇ ਖੈਰ Guru protects your honor in this world and the next you just have to become Sanmukh become the Gurus Duni Chand broke his leg, dragged himself that night all the way back to Amritsar Sahib, sat down with his family, hid in the back room, told his family that if anybody asks if Duni Chand is here, he's saying they just say he's sick, he's in the back room. When he went into the back room, Pairee, us raat onu pyas bahut lagi because his leg was broken. His leg was broken. He dragged himself all the way from Anandpur Sahib to Amritsar Sahib. He slept that night. In the middle of the night, jadon pyas lagi, he got up and he couldn't call for his friends. He's trying to call for his children, but nobody could hear him. When nobody could hear him, he called out. He said, you know what, I'll have to get up and get water on my own. Main aape jaake paani le lawa. He put his foot down. Pyareo sachi gall hai, Guru de bachan atal liya. He put his foot down and there was a black cobra there that bit him on his leg, and uthe Duni Chand di maut ho gayi. Maut maran likhaye mandal mein aaye. Death is inevitable. That is our future. Pyareo, that night, if Duni Chand had accepted Guru's bachan, opened his chest with Kalgitar Pachas, Gur ke charan hirday te antaratma smale, aap shad sada reh parne. If he let go of himself at that moment and he truly became Sanmukh, if he truly became Sanmukh at that moment, he would have become a Shaheed in that battle with Guru Kalgitar Pacha Ji's khushiyan, and Guru Sahib Sache Pacha would have taken themselves. Duni Chand nu aap la ke Sachkhand tak pahunchaunde. That could have happened. But Pyareo ji Vemukh ho gaya. In that one night, his entire life turned around. Satgur Purakh Ji Bolia. Gur Sikha man lai rajaye jiyo. Mohri put Sanmukh Hoeaa. Pyareo, let's bring it back to Ramkali Sadh. Is Sadh di Bani de vich jadon Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Badshah, they're leaving this world at 94, 95 years old. Sare Sangat nu hun bachan kar ditte hai that this is the maryada we spoke about in the previous pade. This is what bhakti is they spoke about in the previous pade. This is how you accept Pana and the will of God and raise your consciousness above this world to see the God's will and the creation, the divine law, and have it pleasing with you. Not your desires are separate and God's desires to be separate. But now Guru da hukum ho gaya. Whatever the Guru said, the Gursikhs accepted. Pyareo, uthe Mohri ji, the son of Guru Amar Das Ji, stood up and came in front of Maharaj. Just idna aapa marade aj Sanmukh hunne ha. He folded his hands. Mohri put Sanmukh Hoeaa. Ram Das Pairee Pahe jiyo. He folded his hands, Pyareo, and he asked Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Pacha, bachan kar diya ke put, Aj tu kis karan, kedi benti vaste Sanmukh Hoeaa? Why have you come in front of me today? What have you come to ask me for? Are you here to ask for the Gurgaddi? Is that what you're asking for? Do you want to be that Guru? Is that what you're asking for? And Mohri ji fold their hands and together and they say, Nahi Pitaji, oh my father, that's not what I asked for. Sache Pacha minu Gursikhi di daat baksho. Bless me with Gursikhi di daat. Pyare main benti kara. This is what Baba Buddha Ji asked for. After 120 years plus of serving Guru Sahib's house, in their final last moments, they asked Sache Pacha, Guru Har Gobind Maharaj, minu baksh lo. Ki minu Sikhi di daat baksho. Somebody that's lived it their entire life. And Pyareo, main benti kara, I say this humbly, sometimes somebody like myself reads one Japji Sahib and they say, Meri varga to Sikh na kade hoya na kade hona. There's never been somebody like me before and there never will be. The true reality is कि Sikhi है ही है भाई बाबा बिधि चंद जी ने, भाई गुरदास जी ने, भाई परागा जी वर्गे होर अनन गुरसिख on Ramdas di dharti. When Baba Buddha Ji is leaving their physical body, they say, they cry with tears in their eyes. They put Guru Har Gobind Maharaj to one side and they say, Baba Ji, tusi sanu ek bakshish de ke jao before you leave. They could have asked Guru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj this bachan, but they said, nahi, Baba Ji, Baba Buddha Ji, we want to ask you. We ask you this bachan, ki Gursikhi keme kamai jandi hai? How do we live Sikhi? Guru to Guru, huh? But we need to ask how to earn Sikhi from somebody that's earned it. And Baba Buddha Ji says, apna uddam karke, put all your effort in. Uddam kar karke, leave nothing back. Par ant vich mangana sef Guru di meher. You don't make a transaction. Ek nahi aski. What type of love is that? That if you go towards somebody else and you have faith on somebody else, there's nothing else to have faith upon. Ask those people are not lovers. Those people that do transactions with the Guru. You do this for me, therefore I do this for you. Oh, now you're asking for too much. You're asking for my head? You're asking for death? Pairee, the call of death is love. It is a wedding that we've been preparing for our entire life. Just like the wedding parties get together, the brats get together, the bajorgs, they sew their beautiful chole and their kurte. All of the baratis, they're wearing matching dastars. Kinni planning nahi na karde? Look how much investment we're putting together on these weddings. But this investment of your breath, where have you put that? That main swere benti kiti. If you invest in stocks, the stock can drop and it can come back up. There's maybe a way to come back from your stocks and your investments. Your business might crash and it might come back up. You get a return on your investment, but there's something that you can never get a return on is this breath of yours. Har japdiyan khin til na ki jai meri jindadiye. Mat ke jape so aava ke na aave ram. Dam. Sada samalta dam na birta jai. Don't forget Paramatma for even a second, or even a breath. Because you lose this investment, you're never going to get it back. You understand its value. Mohri Pot comes in front of Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj and says, Sache Pacha, Minu Gur Sikhi di daat baksho. Bless me with Gur Sikhi di daat. And Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj takes Baba Mohri Ji. Mohri Pot Sanmukh Hoeaa and puts them towards the feet of Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj and says, Je Sikhi di daat lani hai na, te Guru Ram Das Ji de charna te pੈ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਦਾਤ ਲਓ. ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪੈਰੀ ਭਾਈ ਜੀਓ. And ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਅਗਲੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ, ਸਭ ਪਵੈ ਪੈਰੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਕੇਰੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਆਪ ਰੱਖਿਆ. The Guru themselves have placed that everybody bowed down then to Guru Amar Das Ji, to Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਕੀਤੀ. That one Bhai Jetha Ji from the Galiyan of Lahore, who had no mother and no father. People slandered him to the extent when they came to Goindwal Sahib and they served in digging up the boli, and they had dirt in their beard. They had an umbrella of dirt, a basket of dirt on top of their head. And the world said, who is this child? Who is this dirty person? This person that's the orphan. And then to the extent when even the relatives found out that Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj had married their daughter to Bhai Jetha Ji, who became Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj. They said, well, you married the daughter. This person that's a Javai must be respected. Must be living like kings. Those relatives that renounced him and said that he is nothing to us. ਜਦੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਫਟਕਾਰਿਆ. What did they say? ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜਨਮਿਆ ਬੰਸ ਹਮਾਰੇ ਲਾਜ ਗਵਾਈ ਸਰ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰੇ. The person has brought dishonor upon our family. And now ਸਭ ਪਵੈ ਪੈਰੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਕੇਰੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਆਪ ਰੱਖਿਆ. That place, ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਬ ਹਮ ਹੋਤੇ ਤਬ ਤੂੰ ਨਾਹੀਂ ਅਬ ਤੂੰ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਹੀਂ. Maharaj, if there is me, when we take the Guru's charan and place it deep within our heart, we lose ourselves, we immerse ourselves. ਉਸ ਭਾਣੇ ਦੀ ਰਜ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਇੱਥੇ ਮੋਹਰੀ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਨਮੁਖ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਿਆ to the place where Guru Ram Das Ji Bhai Jetha Ji was not there anymore. And there Guru Ram Das Ji existed in the form of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's torch, that jyot illuminating in Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, and the entire world bowed down. That light is passed down into Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj. Yes, there were people that did not accept it by Datu and Dasu. They kicked Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj. But that light illuminated where it did. It's not about the physical body. Jyot Ohoi, that is where it's placed. And there is placed in Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj today. Once it gets placed there, the entire world bows down. And now, Koee Kar Bakhili nivai nahi, fir Satguru aan nivaya. It is true. This is a ashara at Baba Mohan Ji. Because Pyareo, Baba Mohri Ji, one son, came down and bowed down to Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj immediately and said, Manu Sikhi di daat baksho, but Baba Mohan Ji immediately didn't. Pyareo, evi ek Guru di kala hai, akho satnam Sri Vaheguru. This is a play, this is the beauty of Akal Purakh as well. ਕਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਤੇ ਪਰਦਾ ਲਾਇਆ, ਕਿਸੇ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਇਆ. Baba Mohan Ji could not accept. There was something they were holding on to. And they said, nahi, I want the Gurgaddi di daat. ਆਈ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. They did not bow down. ਪਰ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਆ, when they did not bow down, for many days ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਬੇਚੈਨੀ ਪੈ ਗਈ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਲਪਨਾ ਪੈ ਗਈ. Their mind went into states of anxiety that was beyond measure. They could not sleep at night. They could not eat. They could not speak. Such levels of anxiety. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਫਿਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਆਣ ਨਿਵਾਇਆ. ਫਿਰ Guru Amar Das Ji Sache Pacha on their akhir, what we in English we would say their deathbed, but the Guru never dies. They called upon Baba Mohan Ji, brought them together, saying, "Hun put pata lag gaya, hun samjh pੈ ਗਈ, and this is the love of the mother of a Guru." The aspect to bring them in, Rama yahum barak tera kahe na khand savgan mera. I will not look at your mistakes. Forget the mistakes. Lekh hai kathe na chuti hai. Khin khin poolanhar, bakshanhar baksh le. Nanak Paratar Maharaj, we've gone through many cycles of this world. I just ask for this blessing. We make mistakes consciously, subconsciously, physically, unknowingly. We make mistakes. But Maharaj, bless us, baksh lo. Gursikhi da marg is this, where we just say, Maharaj, I've put all my effort, but I give everything up to you. And now, Maharaj, you take it from here. In this way, Baba Mohan Ji did not accept first. But Guru di kala ede vich ya, that Guru brings you around to understanding. Even though, and this is what the maryada, this is what the marriage with the Guru is about. Because Pairee, in a worldly marriage, even Ram and Sita, sometimes they didn't get along. Sometimes there's ways of being upset. And if you think you're going to live like a Cinderella and Prince Charming, come back to reality. There will always be conflict. That is the human nature. There's never been once a relationship there hasn't been. So in this way, when you go in your deepest, darkest moments, there is a guiding principle and an agreement, a promise, a maryada that keeps you intact. Kyunki aaj di duniya, oh, I'm not feeling it anymore, chalo chak baar chatto. That's the world's dunya today. But Pairee, there's no true love in that. Love is when you give and receive nothing, then you still give. Apne aap nu sab kuch de do. But Pairee, Guru de naal keep this in mind. Don't think you strive for perfection and then you'll become a Sikh. Once you become a Sikh, then the Guru will make you perfect. Jin manas te devte kiye kart na lagi var. Amrit is taken not as a devta, as a manukh. You don't come to the Guru. Once you have become you become perfect. You come with your imperfections and the Guru makes you perfect. You don't do Nitnem and Simran once jadon thoda man tek gaya. You do Simran and Nitnem to make your man focus. To make your mind focus. Man nu kaun waste ta Simran karida. In the same way, you don't take Amrit when you're ready. The Amrit makes you ready. Amrit will give you the aspect where your head is coming off your head and the Guru is taking you. And in this relationship with this Guru, there will be ups and downs. You might mess up sometimes. You might not get it in this whole thing that, oh, je koi galti hogi, come back to the Guru. The Guru will protect you. And there will be ups and downs. But there is one thing, the Guru will say, you've made me yours. And I've made you mine. And because we are in this together, now if you are in your downs, I will grab you, I'll pull you back up. Pairee, if the Guru says I'm willing to support you, whose other support do you need? Is there any? Your friend won't provide it, your spouse won't provide it, your children won't provide it, your employer won't provide it. But if the Guru says just make yourself mine, hum bure pale hum thare. Whether I'm good or bad, I'm yours, Maharaj. And then the Guru will grab you. Pairee, Guru Sahib de bachan Kalgitar Pacha ji de ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਤਨਾਮਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ. If you give yourselves to the Guru, become Sanmukh in this way. Keep your case that the Kalgitar Pacha loves so much. ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ even ਜਿਸ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਰਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ, ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਕਰ ਬੈਠੇ, makes mistakes, and they fall into the deepest of hells, I will go and grab them from their case and pull them out. This is the Dori, our connection to Paramatma. ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਚਨ। It's not about, oh, how is that logistically possible? How can, oh, I thought the hair stays here. ਕੇਸ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ and the jodh goes in, ਸੂਖਸ਼ਮ। ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਇਹ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ, ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ। You have to know that Guru will grab you by your case or by your suksham case, you name it, whatever, Maharaj ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣਗੇ। That's what Maharaj will protect us with. To understand that really deep within our hearts. ਕੋਈ ਕਰ ਬਖੀਲੀ ਨਿਵੈ ਨਾਹੀ, ਫਿਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਆਣ ਨਿਵਾਇਆ। The Maharaj, Guru Amar Das Ji will still come around to grabbing you and making you theirs. Baba Mohan Ji did not accept. But at the end, Maharaj ne koi kala varta ke and said, "Hun dukh chal liya." Did you understand in this world that Guru Ram Das Ji de charna to bina koi sukh nahi hai? Baba Mohan Ji comes together, falls at the feet of Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj. Fir ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਦੀ ਕਲਪਨਾ ਦੂਰ ਹੋਈ. The pain and the anxieties in their hearts then left them. Then they were gone. They left. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਅਗਲੇ ਬਚਨ, ਹਰ ਗੁਰਹਿ ਭਾਣਾ ਦੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ. Because all of this is within the hukum, the Parmeshwar, the divine will of Akal Purkh. What we call death, what we call koi pana vapar gaya as a bad thing, ਉਹ pana is pleasing. That pana becomes bliss in this way. ਹਰ ਗੁਰਹਿ ਭਾਣਾ ਦੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ, ਤੁਰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਲੇਖ ਰਜਾਏ ਜੀਓ. In this way, what is preordained, Akal Purkh ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਉਹੀ ਵਰਤਾਇਆ, and ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਜੋਤ ਜਗਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ. Replaced it within them. ਕਹਿ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਸੁਣੋ ਸੰਤੋ, ਸਭ ਜਗ ਪੈਰੀ ਪਾਇਆ. The entire world has bowed down to the feet of Guru Ram Das Ji ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ. And ਬਾਬਾ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਰੋਪਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਥਾਨਕਾ ਬੰਨੀ ਸੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਚਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਸੰਪਾਦਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਾਂ, they travel to Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj's places, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਕਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ, to ਗੋਇੰਦਵਾਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ. And there they went to meet Baba Mohan Ji. They went to meet Baba Mohri Ji. They went to go and meet them. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੋਥੀਆਂ ਲਈਆਂ. When they traveled and saw the houses of Guru Ram Das Ji, their father, Guru Arjan Dev Ji's father, Guru Ram Das Ji, Bibi Bani Ji, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਜਾਗੇ. They did ਪਰਿਕਰਮਾ, ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਕੀਤੀ. They sat down and they said, ਇੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਬਚਨ ਸੁਣਾ ਸਕੇ. Those moments when Guru Amar Das Ji was physically leaving this world. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਮੌਤ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੇਤੇ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਬਰਸੀ ਮਨਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ. Sometimes we look and we remember those family members that may have passed away. And we think, oh, that person was great, such a bad thing. But ਨਹੀਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਅੰਤੈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬੋਲਿਆ, ਮੈਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਿਓ ਨਿਰਵਾਣ ਜੀਓ. They say, beyond me we do kirtan. Maharaj laid out the maryada there. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, when they passed, those bachans Guru Arjan Dev Ji wanted to hear, and they say, is there somebody that was there that can recite that to me? And their Baba Sundar Ji, the great-grandson, they recited these words. They sang this beautiful sad. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj included into our Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj to show us the history. They showed us the love of a devotee. They showed us the spiritual state of an avastha, of when a Gurmukh physically leaves this world, that it is not just the jamdoots coming to grab them. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ, ਜਮ ਕਾ ਡੇਂਗਾ ਬੁਰਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਹਿਆ ਜਾਏ, ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਆ. ਪਰ ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਨੇ, for those Gurmukhs that are reciting and connecting to Parameshwar's name, it is true that they will never face the beatings or the heat of the jamdoots. They will never face it. They're protected by God's name. And ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਨਹੀਂ, ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੋਏ ਰਹੂੰਗਾ ਨਾ, if you come and stay mine my entire life, ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪ, walk this path, I won't send anybody else. I will come and grab you myself. I will send my 5 beloveds to take you myself. And ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਵੱਡੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ. ਐਂਡ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਗਾਥਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਖੈਰ ਚਲੋ, rather than things being said and heard, things that I've seen in my own life, I want to put in front of you. Mahampurkha ne jadon bujurgs, they would sit down and in their last moments they would say to the family, all right, chalo mera vyah hai agle hafte. And everyone's thinking, thoda vyah, you were married like 50 years ago. Hun thoda vyah kada hoya? But they knew, they sat down. Sari Sangat ne Kirtan karna. As they would sing Kirtan, as they would sing God's praises, they sit down and they stood up. They lifted their head with the strength that they had at the age of 80 years old. And उन्होंने कहा ठीक है चलो सिंह पहुंच गए. Oh भाई हिम्मत सिंह जी आ गए. Oh भाई मोहकम सिंह जी आ गए. आहा वो कलगीधर पातशाह नीले घोड़ ते सवार आ रहे आ. ठीक है सिंघो सिंह मैनू लैन आ गए. And they would say to the entire Sangat in that room, I still remember it vividly when I was a kid. And they said, इत्थे मेरी बेनतियां इन्नियां मेरियां भुल्लां चुक्कां बख्श लैणियां जे. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa. They said the Fateh there and they closed their eyes. Sukhmani Sahib da Paath hoya. And at the very last moment, when the last words of Sukhmani Sahib were read, and Akhirla words of Sukhmani Sahib or Sukhmani itself, ਜਦੋਂ Sukhmani padhya, they closed their eyes. ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਕਾਰਾ ਛੱਡਿਆ. They closed their eyes, never to open them again. प्यारियो, क्या जाना किव मरेंगे, कैसा मरना होए, जेकर साहिब मनो ना विसरे ता सहला मरना होए. It is true, you do not know when and how. हाँ गुरमुखां नूं पता लग जांदा. Gurmukh said, they come and go as they please. That is what we spoke in previous days. पर एक गल जरूर चेते रख के बन लियो प्यारियो, that even if you don't know, one thing is true. If you connect to God's name through your entire life in this loving devotion, become Sanmukh, give yourself to Guru Sahib Sache Pacha, reach those highest states of those avasthas beyond these worlds. Live in detachment, in the attachment, not living in attachment and being forced to detach. And then when this world separates, jab akar ekach na drishteta, where there is no pap and pun, where there is no form left, when you're leaving this physical body and you rise, you're not being forced to being pulled out of this body through the messenger of death. No, you are leaving this body in Sahaj and you're embracing Kalgidhar Pacha themselves. Imagine that moment. Sanhu na ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਨ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇਹ ਘਟਨਾਵਾਂ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਤੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜੋ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦਾ, ਤੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਨੁਭਵ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿਖਦਾ. Because there are certain things beyond this world where in historical accounts we might not find, because history is of this world, right? History is not beyond time, it's of time. ਜਦੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੱਚਾ traveling and said, he was from a Muslim family, and you might have heard the historical aspect of this. He was from a Muslim family, lines up, wanted to give his head as the Singhs, as they're lining up all the Singhs. Their cases are open, hands tied behind their backs, only wearing their kashare, and line by line, they're chopping their head. They're saying, are you a Singh of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj? They said, yes, I am. And they'd chop their head off. They would bring the next person, and the person behind them would do a jikara for them. The person that Singh that just became Shaheedi, Pairee, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਆ. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਚੜਾਈ ਕਰਦਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਕਾਰਾ ਛੱਡਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ. Because that person becoming Nahal, meaning liberated. ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੋਵੇ, ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਸਿੰਘ ਛੱਡੇ, ਜਕਾਰੇ ਕੇ ਜਾਵੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ, ਸਤ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਅਕਾਲ ਅਕਾਲ ਦੇ ਜਾਪ ਹੋਣ. And that's what everybody is saying. And this one child, as their time is getting closer and closer and closer, just like beet jai, janam akajre, our life is coming closer and closer. Every birthday we blow out on those candles is one step closer to our destination of this beautiful wedding of death. And now in this moment, this child is coming up, it is his turn. His mother rushes through the doors and says, there's a mistake, my child is actually a Muslim. A child is actually not a Sikh. But he says that it is time to give your head. Is he actually a Sikh? He says, this is not my mother. I'm a son of Guru Kalgidhar Pacha. My mother is Mata Sahib Devanji. Puts down his head. The axe comes on top of his head. Pyareo, in that moment, the history will end. But Gurmukh ne utthe ek anupav vichon bachan kite. When he opened his eyes, what did he see there? He did not see the messengers of death or pain. It was painless. And he saw Guru Kalgidhar Pacha, Mata Sahib Devanji, Char Sahib Jade, Bhai Mani Singh Ji, Baba Deep Singh Ji, holding their arms out and saying, Pot, come and embrace us. You are truly home now. And Pairee, Har Gureh Bhana di vidiyai. This is the true act within this wondrous role that we have to understand. Pairee, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਆ. ਆਪਾਂ ਖੀਰਲੀਆਂ ਦੋ ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਾਮਕਲੀ ਸਾਧ ਦੀ ਕਥਾ ਦੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ. ਸੋ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਆ, ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਇੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅਨੇਕ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ ਨੇ. ਅਣਜਾਣ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਮਾਫ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਜੀ. ਅਖੀਰਲੀਆਂ ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਯੂਕੇ ਫੇਰੀ ਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਾਸ ਦੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਹੈ. If I made any mistakes anywhere else, please forgive me. So ਆਓ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ ਰਸਨਾ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਕਰੀਏ. ਹਰ ਗੁਰਹਿ ਪਾਣਾ ਦੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ, ਤੁਰ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਲੇਖ ਰਜਾਏ ਜੀਓ। ਕਹਿ ਸੁੰਦਰ ਸੁਣੋ ਸੰਤੋ, ਸਭ ਜਗ ਪੈਰੀ ਪਾਏ ਜੀਓ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki Fateh.